How's this? How's that, huh? How's this? Yeah, you know what? You're the first premier, first politician.
That's good.
That we're like this.
I'm honored.
Yeah, you should be. Oh, that's right. The minutes were limited. Okay, it's 4:30. You can see the you can see the. Oh, I forgot my pen. You got a pen on there?
Want a pen? Here.
My God, we're not organized. That's why we got Irving Media. Okay, so anything that I miss?
There you go. Okay.
And we'll be straightforward, and we'll see how it goes.
All right.
Pretty good. See, you can see the thing. Okay, yeah, here we go. And we're usually at Molly's.
Yeah, usually. This is a nice setting too, right?
Yeah, this is the first time I come here since David Allward. Dan David, if you want to listen to me for show gas, he would still be here. Oh, well, sorry. Show gas, you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, we've talked about that quite a bit, as you know.
No,
Yeah. Moratorium on...
Moratorium, it's still on.
Fracturing, that's right.
And plus, you have a cold.
A little bit, yes. I'm feeling okay other than that. I just might cough a little bit.
Yeah, you're going to cough my way.
Yeah, I'll look at the camera if you want.
Look at the camera.
Okay, sorry.
There's how going to be.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So here we go, my holidays. Okay, that's good. Molly's, by the way, they said you're invited. Nice Christmas tree.
Oh.
We came a long way at Molly's. We had our meeting. You were there when you first got elected premier. You were single.
Yeah.
I asked you if you were gay or straight. You say you were straight. You were single. I asked you the year after you were dating somebody. And then you were getting married. And me, I was wrong. I hate being wrong. I said there'll be 18 horses in the carriage.
Yeah, no, there was none of that.
Why not? What happened?
Well, 18 horses, that would almost be as many guests as we had.
I know.
Yeah.
I wasn't invited, but that's okay.
Oh, you didn't get your invitation?
I would have guessed you had to drive me there. I had no car, but that's okay. So how come it was so private?
Well, we just wanted to spend with our family and friends this intimate moment together.
It was good?
Yeah, it was very good.
So is the population going to grow by 1 or 2?
We're just enjoying being a married couple at the moment, and if it's in the cards, it's in the cards.
I could read.
We'll see what happens.
I could read between the lines.
Oh, yeah.
Change the subject. Okay. And also, I want to congratulate you. That's another thing. The what do you call it? Manatee.
The what, sorry? The manatee. Yeah.
You did pretty good.
Was that the interview?
Did you see it?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I was in it too. So.
I know. And you know what? There's a lot of editing there. There was a lot.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
This is very raw.
This is raw, right?
This is very raw. As raw as it gets. Okay. The 18 carriage, I was wrong. Okay. The population, change the subject. Okay. So, Medivh, what do you call it?
Yep,
I call it Bernard Lord thing. But anyway. Okay. Sign it. We're going to sign it first. The papers. For the new agreement, all good things must come to an end. I'm sorry. We got to sign the papers first, and the public will see it afterward.
Well, I think what's clear is that we want to make sure we're as transparent as we possibly can be, but obviously we have to follow privacy and confidentiality laws and rules. And when you're negotiating with an organization, a business, a person, it's important to follow the confidentiality rules that exist. We've already mention what we want to see in this agreement publicly, and we'll make it as transparent as it can be.
If it's not broken, why fix it? Yeah,
well,
please continue coughing that way. Thank you. You want a drink?
No, I got my own. You're very kind.
Yeah. You can keep it.
I warned you. I mean,
it's too close.
A little sick.
Okay, it's all right.
Yeah. So we want to be as transparent as we possibly can be.
You got a mask, somebody? Somebody got a mask? I could wear.
And in the event, and I say in the event because we're still finalizing some details, in the event that it is signed, we will make it as public as it can be. But it's important to note that even at that point, there could be, because of confidentiality rules, some things that are redacted.
Benoit Book, he's getting act like a cabinet minister.
Well, he's very competent, and obviously he's got a big file and lots of responsibilities, doing a great job.
But he said, "Well, sign it," and that's the way it is. Wasn't there a certain language commissioner that tells it like that? The law is the law. We're going to sign it then.
So I don't know if the minister said it that way, but what I can tell you is that if and when it is signed, then we will make it public to the best of our abilities. And I just want to keep adding that because there are sometimes things that you can't disclose. Now, with that said, though, I want to sort of address what you mentioned. Look, we think extramural is a good program, and it's an important one.
Very important.
Yeah, it's important to many seniors and people that need home care, and we want to extend the program. So this deal actually has a condition that Medavie will help with management, that will the management in a way that it will increase the amount of visits that will happen around homes in the
I'm letting you
province.
talk. It's okay. We're going to look at this clock soon. We got 25 minutes. Okay.
That's all right.
But that's okay.
And if I can just add just two...
Watch
Sorry,
it.
sorry,
My God,
Charles.
the germs.
All right, yeah, sorry about that.
Maybe I should start wearing my gloves.
Yeah, you can, sure. I just want to add as well that it's still going, extramural is still going to be a publicly funded program. Employees that go into the homes of our seniors in this province will be working for the government of New Brunswick, and the management would be done by Medavie, but I want to reassure people that it's a non-for-profit, so it's not an organization that's looking to make profits. They are looking to.
But Bernard Lord is involved in that.
Well,
don't answer that. Don't.
Well,
answer that.
I think you raise a good point. I ran against them, so it's certainly not a deal that we want to put together for any other reason that we think it's going to help seniors ensure that they get the care they deserve.
It's not like the
homes.
Forestry Act, David Albert. Poor David. Oh my God. Sure, listen to me. Okay, sorry. I'm really distracted.
Keep naming people that I ran against here. I don't.
Yeah, exactly. But the Forestry Act. It was signed a couple of weeks before the election, and then it's a disaster, and it's too much of a complicated issue, the Forestry Act, to go into it again. Is it the same thing's going to happen with this?
Well, I think it's really important for New Brunswickers to know what we're trying to accomplish with this, because that's not really discussed a lot. So again, all the things that I mentioned about how it would still be publicly funded, employees going into the homes are still working for government, Medavie is a non-for-profit organization, and the goals are that we increase the amount of visits. That's one of the conditions that will be a part of the deal. A second condition is the fact that we want to reduce the amount of time someone from the extramural program has to go to the ER.
Okay, bottom line, trust me.
Well, no. People will be able to see for themselves, to the best of our abilities, the contract if it's signed. But I want to be clear. We've been mentioning what will be in the contract during this process.
Say Victor Boudreau will be a new CEO in there?
No, well, Victor Boudreau is an MLA, and he's doing a great job, and I know
bring the experience in, former Minister of Health to go work it. Don't answer that. Okay, spraying.
Right.
Well, spraying. What do you know about spraying?
So I'm assuming you're talking about glyphosate. Is that it?
I can't say the word.
Yeah.
Maybe you can with a bad cold. Okay, go ahead.
Well, so when it comes to glyphosates, I think it's important again to reiterate how Health Canada has ruled on this, and we are following Health Canada's guidelines. And the minute that Health Canada would ever say, if it ever is the case, that this is it's an issue to be using glyphosates, we will stop. But we have to follow the evidence. And if it were the other way around, if there was a substance that we were using where Health Canada said that we should not, everybody would say you have to follow Health Canada.
What about
so when Health Canada says that there's not an issue, we have to follow the evidence, and we have to support what Health Canada says.
35,000 people signed a petition.
No,
you follow a petition on mine?
Well, I completely understand that many have concerns, but again, I want to make it really clear that Health Canada has said that there's no issue, and we've made it very clear we'll follow Health Canada. If they say there is, then we will stop. We will have it stop being used in this province. And some will cite a World Health Organization report that was actually only a preliminary draft, where they finalized that report and actually said that there's no issue with glyphosate. So I do think that's important too, because a lot of people cite, I forget the years, but I think it's 2015 WHO, but it was actually a draft, and then in 2016, I think, not sure on the dates though, Charles, but I think the most recent one said that it was okay. So I want to repeat.
This is not question period. I done only 20 minutes. That's my question period. You're just going on until the speaker says time. What do I got to say? Time or what?
Yeah, they say time.
Time.
I just like to think what I am saying is important, though. So if Health Canada judges that glyphosate should not be used, I can tell the people in New Brunswick we will make sure that it's not used, but we have to follow the evidence. Okay,
if they spray across the river, would you and the wife and Blaine take a walk 15 minutes after?
Blaze.
Blaze, sorry.
I didn't name my dog after Blaine Higgs. Yeah, no.
Blaze, sorry. I had too many coffees.
That's okay.
I'm distracted by your cold. So anyway, would you, if they spray, would you go inside for a nice walk?
Well, look, if Health Canada says it's okay, yes, we're going to follow their evidence.
You would go.
Well, I'm not sure your example is a good one, but I think what I'm getting at is that if Health Canada says that it is not okay we will make sure that it's not used.
Reminder to Rick Doucette to tell me area where they're going to spray. Tell Premier to go for a
You're
walk.
just putting wiggly lines there, but that's all right.
Okay.
But again, though, Charles, all kidding aside, this is an important issue to many people
yes,
to recognize.
Very serious.
I want to be clear here. If Health Canada says that we should not use it, we won't use it. But I want to make the point again. If it was the reverse, if Health Canada said we shouldn't be using glyphosates, and we were using it, everybody would say we had to listen to Health Canada.
Okay.
So now they're telling us that it's okay, so we have to listen to Health Canada.
You flew in a helicopter yet?
No, I haven't.
You wouldn't lie to me, right?
I wouldn't, no.
You're the Premier.
I've never been in a helicopter.
I flew in a helicopter with Frank McKenna. I never don't.
Well, see, that's something that you did that I haven't had the chance to do.
Okay, the clear cutting disaster, agree? From the plane, when you go in the plane, you land, you see the clear cutting?
Well, forestry is an important industry in our province, and we certainly support the jobs, the thousands of jobs that it creates, but of course we have to do it in a responsible way, and I think New Brunswick has has a proven track record of making sure that we have sustainable natural resource development, and we certainly believe in that as a government, and that's what we're pushing for forestry.
I asked Mr. Albert the same question. Is Mr. Irving in the back door there?
That's my washroom.
Oh, okay. So Mr. Irving,
yeah,
you can open it up
if you want. It's up
good
to
place for Mr. Irving, okay. Don't answer that. So the connection in Mr. Irving and the Premier's office, is it from a scale of 1 to 10, is it great, or is it treated equally?
There's no connection. I don't know what you mean by that.
They come in and say, my name is Mr. Irving?
No. But we do meet with stakeholders from all industries, and that includes forestry. So they're certainly having conversations with forestry industries, but I can tell you that there are many businesses within the forestry industry that are part of consultations that we do.
You have an office in St. John?
I do.
Why?
Well, for a few reasons. Number one is because it's a great way to be able to listen to some New Brunswickers in the region, but number two, because I'm very proud to be the regional minister for St. John and the southwest of our province. And I believe it's a great way for me to be able to get a sense of what we can do as a government to help them create jobs and strengthen education and healthcare.
Does your mother have some royalist roots in her?
No, she's from Holland, so she's
from Holland.
Yeah, from the Netherlands.
Me mother from Scotland. Me mother from Scotland.
Yeah, there you go.
So, as a proud Acadian.
Yeah, half Acadian and half Dutch.
Half Acadian, half Scottish. It's going to be real good. Oh my God, the Scottish, the Dutch germs against the Scottish. Anyway, I'm done. Acadien, c'est-il la ville de Saint-Jean ou la ville de Saint-John?
Techniquement, c'est la ville de Saint John, je pense. C'est même que c'est incorporé. Moi, je l'appelle Saint-Jean quand je parle en francophone, mais je l'appelle Saint John quand je parle en anglophone, mais techniquement, je pense que c'est incorporé Saint John.
Ça, c'est bon, ça, c'est une bonne réponse.
Non,
ça, c'est bon, ça. J'allais dire, Samuel de Champlain a découvert la rivière Saint-Jean. Je croyais que tu allais parler comme à Saint-John. J'allais peut-être aller de même, avec un golf. Dans le Secret Service alentour, là, geez, they're right, on va pas ça. OK, paramedic. En bon acadien, la maudimade, il faut que tu sois bilingue pour être un paramedic?
Je pense que c'est important que nous sommes capables de donner et délivrer des services de soins de santé partout autour de la province. Et évidemment, nous avons des responsabilités linguistiques et on fait le mieux qu'on peut possiblement de faire sûr qu'on remplit ses obligations.
What do you think? Paramedic, come on. Moi, je suis français. Je veux mon service en français. Doesn't that give a chance for the English paramedics, the people that become good paramedics, forced to leave this province? Well, is that an issue with you? Or?
Well, actually, we have an issue with recruitment of paramedics in general. So we want to hire as many paramedics as we can. And of course, it's great to have an English capacity and a French capacity when it comes to the ambulance services in New Brunswick. And I hear your point. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but think about another scenario where you're injured or sick and you feel like you really need to tell somebody what happened to you and what the issues are, and if you have allergies, if you have some type of history, that's important that they know before they start to treat you. Some people can't speak French, some people can't speak English in this province, so we need to do the best we can to make sure that we can deliver the best services possible and in the languages that people speak.
I say it doesn't matter. Like I said, an English paramedic, I knock him at Tim Horton. Hey, parle français? I went, I said, just kidding. I support you guys 100%. But anyway, we could go on this issue for a long time. If you were leader of the opposition and there's an election tomorrow, what would be the issue?
That's a very different question.
So you have a call?
So
You have
I
a
was just
cold,
trying
you
to
can't
follow.
take
I was just trying to follow the question.
I have ADHD.
Well, look, I'm not 100% sure I can entertain the hypothetical, but what I can tell you is that I believe when it comes to the election, it will be no different than what we hear as a government. What are the things that people care about? And it's economic growth, making sure our people can work here, live here, come back here if they moved away. They want us to improve
With the
education.
issue property tax.
And they want us to improve healthcare.
Healthcare.
Well, yeah. Well, there's no doubt that in my mind that the things that people care about are the economy, education, and healthcare.
See, by the way, I've never seen that. You got gray hair lately?
Yeah, well, probably a little bit, but
I'm just looking from 3 years ago.
They're hidden.
Yeah, I just got a flashback.
They're hidden in the blonde hair.
That's
so
what
it's all
happened.
good.
We're very close right now, so I can see closer.
Yeah.
Charlie, shut up. Okay, so next thing you know, justice system. Do we need an overhaul on the justice system? It's like Michel Villeneuve that was shot dead in Batters. I understand that you can't answer that. There's going to be a coroner inquest. They're going to have recommendation. Do we need some kind of provincial inquiry of the way our justice system works here in this province?
Well, certainly I can't comment on any specific cases, and I obviously have to be very respectful of the judiciary, but I can tell you that making sure that we have a strong and accessible justice system is important, and we do the best we can to improve it, and we do the best we can to make sure that New Brunswickers are well served by it.
Maybe we're not doing good enough.
Well, I think that we should always have the impression in every department and every service that we're not doing good enough and we're always trying to improve it. And that's certainly the continuous improvement attitude we try to have here in this government.
They need another Minister of Justice. What is he now? That's worse than having Bill Fraser as Minister of Transportation. My God, I never see that one coming.
Well, yeah, for your viewers.
No, that's all right. That's okay. Hey, no,
Bill Fraser's in the back there. So
the viewers doesn't have to.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I thought it was about transparency.
No,
Charles.
no, of course not. No, we're not going to start naming the people around. So how are we doing here? We're doing good. How the time
We've got about
16 minutes.
7 minutes.
7? No, we can't do that. My God, we're supposed to have 30 minutes. It's only 16.
We
gotta go
too much
fast.
offline.
I know. Okay, justice system. The natives. Have you been under reserve lately?
Well, First Nation communities are very important to the social fabric of our province.
They asked me, they told me, if you get an invitation on the reserve, would you go?
We actually had dinner there just the other night here at the Willisstock restaurant. So our caucus went to have dinner there just this week.
That's good.
And I met with the chiefs of First Nation communities across the province last week, if I'm not mistaken.
And if they invite you, you go there, no problem.
Yeah, and our Minister of Aboriginal Affairs has also been visiting many First Nation communities over the last few weeks and months.
Did Jackie Vautour get the Order of New Brunswick? He's 88 years old.
So you may think, and some people may think, that I have a role to play there. I really don't. So there's a committee that's put in place, and I find out.
Huh?
I find out after the fact when people are chosen for the Order of New Brunswick.
Somebody wants to know. He said to me, he's 65, 70 years old, and he wants to work. Should we have a program that will train the old citizen to go back in the workplace in the States? My uncle drives a school bus, 80 years old.
That's interesting. I think finding ways for seniors who can and would like to continue to work is an interesting idea. And let me think about that one. And I think that's a interesting suggestion from your viewer or whoever it is that suggested that.
Work Safe New Brunswick. Should it be investigated? Should there be a watchdog over Work Safe New Brunswick?
Well, not exactly the way you put it, but we actually asked the Auditor General to do a bit of an analysis of WorkSafe New Brunswick to see what's going on there, and as well as putting a task force together that are going to work in concert with each other, employers, employees, other stakeholders, discussing how we can make sure that workers' compensation and all the important things that they do are still strong moving forward, all the while keeping our businesses and industries competitive here in the province.
Is voters' turnout going to be at a lower scale next year?
I hope not.
Because everybody will be too stoned to remember to vote.
Jeez. I hope that voter turnout will increase. Voters participating in their democracy is an important part of our democracy, and we certainly will do everything we can. It
won't be too spaced out. You smoke a joint, but it's legal. You're going to have
No, I'm going to be focused on making sure that
I'm going to puff it when it's legal.
I know we're going to go around the province campaigning to try to earn the trust of New Brunswickers and their confidence for another 4 years.
I hear there'll be 3 spots to smoke marijuana, to smell marijuana all over the place. 3 spot to sell it. 3 in Moncton and 1 in Fredericton. Did you hear that? What do you call it? Dispose.
Yeah, sort of dispensaries.
Yeah,
but we would sort of.
Are they going to be in liquor
stores? No, they wouldn't be. No, and it is a corporation in which NB Liquor is a part of, though. So just so you know, and the RFPs went out to set up 20. And I apologize, Charles, if I'm off on the numbers a little bit, but I think it's 20 stores within 15 communities. So there would be, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in Fredericton, St. John, and Moncton, a few stores in those 3 cities, and then you would have others across the province and other regions.
Is it who you know that's going to get the contract?
Oh, it's an RFP to decide where it goes.
Who's that?
So it's a tender.
Tender?
Yeah, sorry.
So there's no connection. Were you at Parley Beach? Was there last summer? Seen your father there?
You saw my father at Parley Beach?
Parley Beach, yeah. Canteen.
Really?
Was that band in the?
Oh, he went to go. I was about to say I couldn't. I couldn't imagine my father would have went to the beach. That's why I was so shocked. So he went to go listen to music. That I believe.
Yeah,
okay.
but we were waiting for you to be at the beach. You got the physique, you know.
You're too kind.
No, that's what the manatee said. Can I feel your arm and all that?
Kind.
Remember that? That was good.
It was very funny. Yeah.
Okay, so how come you weren't there? Live stream, run in the water. Listening to
the band, or you just go to Parley Beach in general?
Parley Beach.
Well, to be honest, Charles, I actually don't usually go to Parley Beach. I go to the little beach that we have next to the house of my parents.
Tourists.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe you make a fair point that could be something.
I did that last year.
That's good.
But you never went.
Well, I'm sorry I missed you at the beach.
No, I had to go myself to show how safe it is.
Okay, well,
and the water was pissing warm.
Well, that's.
One more thing. Mental issues. I don't know, we're almost done. Just like in Molly's, I remember Kurt.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Kurt was going, Steve Murphy, Steve Murphy, that was funny. Okay, so mental issues in the school. We seem to be going overboard. Teachers are complaining, and mental illness, kids biting, assistant. How are we going to fix that?
Well, first off, let me say that we appreciate very much what all educators do, and of course our teachers and everybody that works in the school system. It's not easy work that they do, and it's so important to the future of our province. Education is the key for our economy and for the social fabric of our province. So we really appreciate what they do, and it's not easy. We recognize that, and we're making
inclusion working,
and we're making investments. But on the some of the mental health challenges, and even for some older children, addiction. Issues that there may be, we have been putting in place a program called the Integrated Service Delivery, ISD for short. It's basically a program that has...
I'm letting you talk there. Go ahead.
I appreciate it, but it's important. It's a good question. It's important. So this ISD program is helping our children in our schools get the mental health and social services that they need in a quicker fashion, and also in a more integrated fashion, meaning that everybody that would be there to support the child with whatever challenges they may have, they're all sitting at the same table helping the child and the family get through that situation. This program is working very well. It's received national awards, and just so you know, we're scaling it up, and it's only now being scaled up across the province. So it's only starting out across the province. So we should give that program some time. And where we did do it before in the years past in New Brunswick, it actually reduced wait times virtually to zero for children to get the mental health and social services
see that there?
They need.
23 minutes. Got 7 minutes left.
There you go.
So then return. He's
7
looking,
minutes.
He's looking around. He's like,
no.
It's all right. It's all right. We're almost done. So if you turn around, we have Anglophone, Francophone school. Is it time to change it to a word that everybody, like it was District 7, District 11.
You mentioned that to me.
Everybody, the school should be a place of learning, not a place of language. Is it time to change the name that everybody feels welcome? Not look at the little natives and say, hey, you lost the war. Welcome to the Anglophone, Francophone school, and the Syrians, the immigrants are arriving. Is it time to change the name where everyone is welcome?
Well, we can certainly look at the names, but I think what's important to New Brunswickers is that we invest more and more to improve all the educational opportunities in the classroom. And we're adding teachers to our system, we're investing in literacy skills, we're investing in coding, investing to put trades back in the schools. like
You'll
you
look
just
into it, right?
Well, sure, but I think what's at the end of the day, what's important is that we make investments to improve the classroom results and
I like the
and
way she's
outcomes
looking at
for-
me.
outcomes for the children.
When they go like this,
Put the
there,
other one.
that's where it's encouraged. Holy gee, okay, we're going to go quick. Affordable housing.
Yeah.
What are you doing for affordable housing?
Well, we actually signed a deal with the Trudeau government probably about a year ago now, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, a little bit about that, where we're going to be investing $56 million over the next few years into affordable housing. And we believe this is a great investment to help vulnerable New Brunswickers, seniors, women that might be in an abusive situation, and their children to have a safe place.
You're
to
doing
call
good.
home.
This is, we got 5 minutes. This is Facebook question. The people that support
Okay.
you. Should Premier be qualified to be, should a person be qualified to be Premier before he's Premier? You weren't too qualified, when you first started. David Howard wasn't qualified. Sean Graham wasn't qualified.
I think New Brunswickers get to choose their premier by voting, and I think that's a
answer.
pretty exhaustive process.
A local service district, is it broken?
Actually, we believe that there's some very interesting things happening in the communities across the province. There's always improvements to be made, but the regional service commissions in some areas are working very well, and some areas are working good, but certainly could maybe have some tweaking. But we're confident that it's going to continue to be a great place for community leaders to make a difference.
Crime Stoppers, that's we'll see what the recommendation and the coroner is going to be. What's the MDDA missile system? You were weapon manufacturers. Remember that?
Yeah, there was a business that was interested in setting up potentially in Canada to create some things, but again, this was just a very exploratory meeting. So I did meet with the business. I don't know if that's what you're saying, but I think that would be the business that would have met. But from my point of view, there's been no follow-up meetings. I don't know if there's other officials that would have met with him or not.
Chief Medical Officer Clary, when she lost and not language commissioner, you don't have to answer
Can't
that.
discuss HR
Yeah,
issues.
okay, that's all right. Do you wish the lack of New Brunswick want to come? See, I'm ordering this fast now. We're in a hurry. New business wants to come to New Brunswick, but because of high income tax rate, they got a problem.
Well, look, it could be the case, but I'll tell you that I've discussed numerous times with businesses looking to set up here in New Brunswick, and they look at what our education system is like, what our healthcare system is like. They look at what post-secondary education opportunities there are, what type of quality of life the New Brunswick, the workers will have for their business if they come here, what type of childcare there will be. So I'm not going to lie, that doesn't get raised when we're trying to recruit a business, and I will stand by the fact that our government raised taxes on the 1% richest New Brunswickers so we could invest more in education and healthcare and in our multi-year plan to grow the economy.
A line cook makes $11 an hour, while a line cook across the country makes 13. Do you know anything about that?
Well, I will say that we raised the minimum wage several times as a government, giving more money in the pockets of New Brunswickers. I recognize some would like to see that increased even more, and we recognize that, and we have a commitment to continue to increase the minimum wage moving forward. But I sympathize with the point that's being made, but I will remind people that we actually raised the minimum wage, and that Blaine Higgs and the Conservatives opposed us raising the minimum wage.
Help tourists to come here in New Brunswick, not to go to Nova Scotia.
Well,
We're putting $100 million.
well, that's exactly it. We're going to
put Steve Horseman going to put a portable washroom at Carlton Park across the river. Don't answer that. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm very proud of how we've listened to community leaders. And honestly, Charles, I was actually taken back to the point that I met with community leaders across the province, and I was taken back by how often and how passionately people talked about investing in tourism. They see it as a growth opportunity. So within our multi-year economic growth plan to invest to create opportunities, tourism is one of the most important sectors, and you'll see major investments over the next few years. We've increased the budget over the last couple of years, and we're going to continue to do that.
4 kids, two kids left the province because they cannot speak French. How do we help the anglophone kids? They can't speak. And you know yourself, on parle français. Puis si quelqu'un commence à parler Bill Fraser, c'est qu'il parle français, ils vont chavirer. Veut dire, c'est ça. Nous autres, on a Acadiens, on parle chiac et tout. Mais si qu'un Anglais essaie de parler français, comment ils ne vont pas parler français, comment qu'on peut...
Well, look, I can't speak to whoever wrote this specific situation with their children, but what I can tell you that there are numerous jobs where you get the job and you only speak English. And there
Is
are
there
some.
is there some?
Oh, the very, very much. But
Working for Mr.
but we
Irving?
understand what they're saying, and at the end of the day, what we need to do as a government is create as many jobs as possible. And I'll tell you that the multi-year economic growth plan that we have will do just that. And in fact, there are jobs waiting for New Brunswickers right now, and we're going to continue to invest in the things that will help us spur economic growth.
It's playing the continuing. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. We're almost done. 54 more. That's it. Continuing debt with the pot revenues and the carbon tax will work toward lowering the debt. That's wrong. The money you make from the pot,
Well, no, the money, the money that would be collected by
almost done
selling cannabis, it's going to offset costs. I mean, there's a cost of putting the distribution network. There's going to be a cost of ensuring that we're putting regulations in place to keep New Brunswickers safe when it comes to production, distribution, sales, and consumption. And we need to make sure that we get cannabis out of the hands of our youth through awareness programs, regulations, enforcement of those regulations, and that we get rid of the illicit market. We get rid of what's called the black market, getting the proceeds from selling cannabis out of the hands of criminals.
Publicly investigate ACON. I want to touch that? It's up to you.
Well, I think if you remember, ACON has been studied and analyzed several times by several independent officers of the legislature, the Auditor General being the most recent one. So any time that an independent officer of the legislature wanted to look into it, we certainly support that. And they do an exhaustive and, again, independent job of doing it.
Premier, would it set an offer for Irving Empire, or would you be appointed to the Senate? I added that one for the Senate.
I'm not 100% sure I understand. Oh, you mean what?
So after politics, you're going to be appointed for Mr. Irving, or are you going to be appointed to Senate? Don't answer that.
It sounds a little cynical of a question here.
You see, that's the problem with Facebook. You see, you have these anonymous people, and they're very, very brave. Well, ask him this, ask him that. So, and you know, I don't, a lot of questions I never ask.
So I'm focused on doing everything I can to govern the province, to improve the economy, to strengthen education and healthcare. And we look forward to the campaign where we're going to do the best we can to gain the confidence of New Brunswickers for another mandate, and we'll make the contrast between our growth agenda to invest in the economy and the austerity agenda of Blaine Higgs and the Conservatives. And I will respect the decision of the electorate.
You didn't drop dead. You've been doing good. The coal is hanging in there.
It's not too bad. Yeah, a little bit of water.
I see Hirsch is going to ready to throw me out the window. And just for the record, Bill Fraser, very good MLA.
There you go.
I'm not kissing ass. Very good MLA. I known Bill for 12 years, and
that's good.
He's what you call a people's man. He loves to agitate once in a while. No hard feeling, but anyway.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll shake your hand.
You can shake. Okay. All right.
Michael, you take care of that coal. And until next, this is good. Maybe we'll do that. We could do that so once a month, maybe.
Yeah. I'm not sure my schedule will allow it, but we'll do the best we can.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Premier. Until next time.
Thanks, everyone.